All right, welcome back to the Artist Connection podcast. I'm Matt Kasar, here with my special guest, Mr. Bernie Worrell. Welcome, Bernie.
Thank you for having me, Matt.
Yeah, it's a real pleasure to meet with you here. We're here at the Washington Diner having a lunch and getting to talk to a true music legend. And I know you've been compared to Mozart and guys like that from the past, but started piano at age 3.
Just 3.5.
3.5.
My first concert was at 4 years old.
Yeah. I know that goes way, way back, and obviously you're not going to have any super clear memories of that, but do you have any thoughts from that time? Does anything still stay with you?
The only thing I can remember is after my mother thought that there was something there. My mother taught me a scale. I don't know which scale it was,
yeah,
but I used to go to the piano every day and play it perfectly. So the story goes. And so she thought that there was something there. So she tried to find a teacher, someone to teach me. And at that time, no one had ever taught anybody that young.
Right.
And she finally found this lady who became my godmother and my teacher. I passed all of her 8th grade students at the age of 4. I had my first classical concert at 4 years old.
Wow. Well, was your mother a musician herself? Was she a professional?
My mother was a vocalist, and she could read enough to accompany herself, singing like little solo pieces. She sang in the church choir, Baptist choir, and she'd sing at local teas, local functions, fashion shows. And she could play just enough to accompany herself. Not fluent.
Yeah.
She could pick out the notes. And that's the only...
That's where it all began.
Yes. That's all my recollection.
And then from that point on, starting something that young, child prodigy is the label that you get.
Yeah.
I guess you got a lot of attention, right, as a kid?
Yes. Well, I kind of remember, I guess they were professional booking people.
Okay.
There was a child prodigy in town. They wanted to swoop me up and, go on a tour, money.
Yeah, people are going to start making money off it.
My mother said no.
Yeah. She
wouldn't let that happen, and because she had a mother wit.
Yeah, she wanted to protect you from all that.
Yes. And so that didn't happen, and then we moved to, this was in Long Branch, New Jersey. I was born in Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
And my parents moved to Plainfield when I was 8 years old. And she found another lady who I became her favorite amongst all her students who were high school and whatnot. Miss Faye Barnaby Kent. And she was a pupil of Edward MacDowell, who was one of the first American composers. So she took me in. My mother used to trade paying for my lessons while doing housework for her. And it became her favorite.
Yeah.
She hooked me up with the professor from New York College of Music, Professor John Nogi. He's passed away. Well, they're all passed away. And that's where I had harmony and theory lessons. At age 8, I wrote my first piano concerto at 8. And
that's just incredible.
And at 10 years old, I played 3 piano concertos with part of the Plainfield Symphony and Washington Symphony Orchestra.
Yeah.
So I was classically trained all the way up through college.
Yeah.
The conservatory. They skipped her into second year harmony and theory in my freshman year because I was advanced.
Were the other kids jealous, or did they enjoy watching someone like that play?
Well, I never noticed it. It just was, because I was brought up kind of strict. I couldn't go outside and play, with the hoodlums, as my mom called them. And I guess naive also, because not being able, I always wanted to. That's why when I started sneaking out the bedroom window to go down to the barber shop to get my hair processed. That's where I met George Clinton and everything. That's when the bug hit. By the time I got to college, I was free.
Yeah.
So I wasn't aware of, I guess there was some jealousy. Or if I did feel it, I didn't say anything because I'm sensitive. But I know in college, I used to play the lounge in the dormitory, all other type of music, like T for Two and stuff like that. I guess that's the beginning of. Yeah, I was playing jazz.
We were talking before we started recording this that jazz isn't in your comfort zone, but to me, you wouldn't know that as a listener. You sound like you put your own mark on everything you do, so it just sounds really comfortable when you're listening to you.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
it makes me. I guess I'm more confident now.
Yeah,
that people seem to like, jazz standards. So.
We were talking about Take Five, and I love your version of Take Five.
Oh, thank you.
Sounds great.
I think if it was just playing straight acoustic piano or electric piano, I feel kind of, but we have the vintage synthesizers. That's the pro soloist doing the melody on Take Five. And they got the clarinet and the mini moves. So I thought, at being as Evan Taylor, the co-producer, we wanted to funkatize it. I felt more comfortable.
We were also talking about, with your classical strict upbringing, how when you did get to college and things did open up and the world kind of opened up and you started doing your own thing, it's funny how quickly your music emulates that. I mean, a lot of college kids go through that. They have the freedom. You got to express it musically for the world to hear, or instead of just the classical straight piano, your world just blew up, right? I mean, jazz, funk, whatever.
Because
whatever else.
I think what helped that, I would go to my lessons once a week. You had your piano or vocal lesson, whatever you were majoring in. I also used to, I'm an accompanist also. That's an art form within itself. Because I used to accompany the opera vocalists for their vocal classes and their promotional recitals. So all of us are keyboard, those that had that talent. You get paid for it. And you accompany the students for their lessons, and it comes time for the recitals to promote to the next year.
Yeah.
So I did that. I accompanied a male Jewish choir on Saturdays in Beacon Hill in Boston. I was accompanist for, he's a professor, but he taught ballet and Spanish dance on Beacon Hill. He was a famous teacher of ballet.
Yeah.
So I got that job. I think that was on the weekends also. And I started playing in nightclubs at night. As part of an organ trio. I was playing Hammond organ.
Yeah.
Which is one of my favorites.
So you knew early on.
Therefore,
you have all these different mixes.
So that explains what you said in the beginning.
Yeah. Music has always been, this is what you were going to do for a living? Was there ever any in-between time where you thought, I'm going to have to do something else, or I'm going to have some other kind of job?